What's going on? What is going on, brothers? What's going on? It's your dude, Mr. International Passport. Hope y'all are doing very well so far. Press a 1 in the live stream chat if you can hear me loud and clear. How's my audio? How is my audio? James, we're live right now. Is my audio good? Can you hear me, James?
Hear you loud and clear, brother.
Okay, awesome, man. Awesome, bro. Who else is here in the building? Who else is here? Type A1, the chat. Aussie in the building. Thank you very much. So before I mention anything, just want to mention one thing. I know it's been a bit quiet over the past several weeks, couple of days. Don't worry, I'll be back consistently. I'll be back very soon with more videos, more streams. Just sorting out a few bits in the background, but we'll go full speed ahead in the future. Okay, don't worry. So aside from that, brothers, as you come in, please like the video, hit the super chats tonight, hit the PayPal donation. Any donation you can offer for the channel, that'd be greatly appreciated. As you know, IT is the future to get you out the matrix, out the west. So book your IT consultation with me by the Candy link in the description box below, and we'll have that talk. Join the Patreon for intel about how freaky foreign women are. Okay, I've also got one on Australia as well, and let me tell you, these Aussie chicks are freaks. Okay. Aside from that, copper merch, get a hoodie, get a t-shirt to support the channel and the movement. All right. So let's get straight into it. Okay. We have a future explosive live stream. Okay, on Australia. Okay. I've got a very special guest here called James. How you doing, bro? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
James is back in the building, man. You know, James, he doesn't hold back, and we definitely appreciate James's honesty. So, James, man, give us a brief intro as to who you are, bro, where you from, and anything interesting about you, brother.
James, ex-Navy dude, traveling the world since I was 18. Love every bit of it. Learned a lot. Realized how much the world is changing. Just like to really take a look for myself to see what a lot of countries are like. And I've been observing a lot of crazy things. I'm just someone who likes to put it to you right where it is. Put it where the ghost can get it.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. Welcome back, James. It's gonna be a classic. It's gonna be a classic, bro. So, James, you were in Australia recently, and we're gonna break down
Brisbane.
the good. Oh, Brisbane. Okay, we're gonna break down the good, the bad, and the ugly. So, my first question for you, James, is why Australia? Why not New Zealand? Why Australia out of all places, brother?
I heard a lot about Australia. For a long time, I heard a lot about Australia. And I wanted to come out here and see for myself. You know what I'm saying? That's, just like I was saying. And there's a lot of places, there's a lot of places I want to go. I want to see every square inch of the planet, to be honest with you. I chose Australia because, one, I was actually in Nairobi before I went to Australia, and I knew that I was going to go to Thailand. I was definitely going back to Thailand. And Australia is real close to Thailand. So I said, I knew I wanted to see Australia. So why not stop there and then go to Thailand afterwards, which is exactly what I did. And now I'm back in Nairobi. So thought it'd be a good idea to go to one of the places that I didn't hear too much about. Not a lot of people talk about Brisbane. Everyone talks about Sydney. Everybody talks about Melbourne. So I wanted to go where a lot of people didn't go to. So I decided to choose Brisbane.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. And I'm sure you have lots to discuss there in regards to Australia. But let's go through the formalities first, brother. So I say, brother. So accommodation wise, okay. Where were you staying at? Was it hotel? Was it Airbnb? Break it down.
Airbnb. It was Airbnb.
Okay. Awesome. And brother, was it a good spot? Right? Was it clean? Was it good?
It was like an apartment in a neighborhood. It was actually like a house. It was the 2-family house, like 2 floors. Damn, my bad. was like 2 floors and everything. And you know, there's someone staying down below. I think that the person owned the place, but I didn't really see him. But I had my own kitchen, everything. It was like my apartment, but it's like open downstairs and my door locked. So it's kind of like that, because you got to understand, Brisbane is very, 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 very expensive. And the area where I was staying was even more expensive, and I wanted to stay in a nice area. So, but it was like I could walk to a train station. Ubers were regularly priced, but the train was very cheap, like super cheap.
Okay, awesome, brother. So, brother, now in your time in Brisbane, Australia, right? From your observation, who's in power there? Like, who runs that country? Who runs the city? Is it white Australians? Is it the Chinese, the Indians? Who's in power there, brother? From what you saw,
It's the white Australians, but you do see plenty of Asians walking around with a lot of money, and you could tell they don't care about nobody. They don't bother nobody, and they just kind of mind their own business. But the Aboriginals, the mixed light-skinned Aboriginals, are comfortable in their own skin, and they seem to kind of have a issue with me, like moving around in the nightlife and moving about. You could tell they didn't want nothing to do with me. The white Aboriginals, the light-skinned Aboriginal dudes. Those are they gave me that eye, like, stay away from the white girls. That's ours. That's what I was getting. That's what I got when I was there.
So, brother James, let's unpack that, bro. So, brother, you're telling me that light-skinned Aboriginal dudes, right, were giving you a lot of shade. Is that what you're saying, bro?
When I was in the clubs, they would like kind of, when they were going by where they need to excuse you, when it was crowded, because I was in the clubs during Halloween weekend. I'm in the nightclubs during Halloween weekend. I just love it too much. I don't care where I am. That's my favorite holiday, to go out to party. I'd be 90 years old still doing it. I just like Halloween night. They would kind of nudge me aside and look at me like if I have a problem with it, they're gonna rough me up or something like that, sizing me up and everything.
Wow, brother, that's interesting. There now, okay, I thought there would be solidarity between black men and Aboriginal men based on their history. No, in Brisbane,
nope.
Damn.
Nah, they don't. I don't think they see themselves like that.
Okay, so brother, you again looks as to stay away from the white chicks. But brother, were the white chicks checking for the Aboriginal dudes, or were they going for the white dudes? Yeah. They were.
Nah, they go for the white dudes more than anything, and the light-skinned black women actually went for the white dudes as well. So that, I remember there was another guy that was talking about Australia. He mentioned that. That's true.
Oh man, okay. Wow. And brother, we'll get to the racial dynamics in dating very soon. Hearing that from black women is very upsetting in Australia. So, brother, let me ask this. Right. Damn. So, brother, let me ask this right. So, you being a Western black man, okay, how were you treated there in general? Were people kind to you on average? How were you treated, brother, overall?
Overall, people wasn't really disrespectful to me, really. But I do know that 3 times on a train, I got called the N-word by like weird ass white people.
What?
Like literally the whole thing. But I never did anything about it because they themselves weren't a threat. They were like weird and crazy. I remember this guy came on and started talking about Trump, and I was like, I don't know, me, how I like those. I invite that kind of argument because I know I'm gonna win. And I was really destroying him. And a lot of people, there was at least 8 other people on the train that were laughing at him. And there was another light-skinned Aboriginal dude that was trying to side with him and saying, kind of like hinting that I'm the bad one. I'm smirking and I'm like, you guys don't know it, man. This is my cup of tea. But he gave up and started getting mad because I was chopping him up and just started, you guys think you black motherfuckers think you could do no wrong. Fucking niggers and this, that, and the third. Sorry for screwing it, but this in context. You needed to know what the actual N-word. So sorry for saying N-word, but that happened. Now, other times I just got called. It's like, move out of my seat. You know, you don't belong on this train, N-word. Yeah.
What?
Three times.
Hold
Three
on,
different times on the train.
brother. That was randomly. So, brother, you're telling me. So, brother, you get on the train, right? And someone just starts calling you the N-word randomly, brother. Randomly, out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
What,
In Australia.
bro? Flipping heck!
That didn't happen to me in Germany. There wasn't even a hint of anybody talking to me like that in Germany. Not a hint. And I was all over Germany. All over Germany. It was none of that. Matter of fact, when I was in Frankfurt, Germany, where people said it will happen, I felt safe and well respected and welcomed, as welcomed as you could possibly get when I was in Frankfurt. I felt like that I could easily make Frankfurt a home. But there was a couple other things that I didn't, but let's just keep talking about Australia. I just wanted to make that comparison. But yeah,
Brother,
that happened in Australia.
So, brother, these three white people and the light-skinned Aboriginal, right? Did they look? Were they like homeless-looking people or normal-looking people?
Now, keep in mind, I said three different times. One time, it was a white Australian guy who was talking about politics and Trump, saying how much he loved Trump. And there was a a light-skinned Aboriginal guy who was backing him up. So make sure you understand what I was saying.
Okay. Wow. And brother, the other time.
Yeah.
Oh wait. So brother, that time there, you're telling me that was just a random conversation that you're sitting down opposite him on there, and then.
Well, it wasn't random. They found out I was American, so he wanted to talk about Trump. And so I invited him because, like I said, I like that kind of smoke. And he was actually, the conductor came back there to see what was going on. And then he stopped when he see that I was handling it. And then he told me afterwards, because they called the police on him, of course, because it's against the law to be using that kind of language in Australia. You can't just randomly start calling people racial slurs in Australia. You will get locked up. And the police talked to him, but I didn't really see it. I got off the train afterwards because he got off before me. And I saw the police waiting there, to talk to him. And the conductor talked to me afterwards to let me know that he was really kicking his ass in that debate. I was like, I know I was. I always win those debates. That's exactly what I said. He said, I'm sorry, but you have to know Australia is not like this, because they all knew I was American, obviously. And a lot of people were on the train and was apologizing to me. I said, I'm okay. And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. Absolutely. Guy wasn't a threat. He wasn't a tough guy. He was larger than me. But I wasn't scared at all. I was like, if you want to bring it to that, you're going to have to start it, because I'm not going to be the one to start a fight in a foreign country. I'm not stupid. But all the times it was the same situation. And I saw many times people, like, just the most disgusting looking people got on these trains. I mean, like, just disgusting people. You have no idea, man. No idea.
Flipping heck. So, brother, how did they know you were American in the first place? Were you on the phone speaking abroad, or did they just guess? How did they know you were American?
Just hearing me talk. Because I was asking about stops. Should I stop here? What's the next train I should take? And when they hear me speak, they go, "Oh, you're American." Because Australians, they can hear the American accent very, very easily, obviously. Just like we can hear their foreign accent as well. I mean, obviously they can hear ours. I mean, it's common sense. But as soon as you speak, they know you're American.
Flipping heck. So, brother, so we have a problem here in terms of there isn't any sort of POC unity from what you saw there in Australia. If you're a Black American, you're there by yourself. Don't expect Aboriginals to come and back you up, or even other Black people. Is that what you're saying, bro? In Brisbane?
Black people will, but Aboriginals won't.
Damn.
No, they're not going to back you. Not a chance in hell. They'll sit there. They'll probably break it up, but they're not going to actually help you.
Flipping heck. So, brother, now tell me the other instant where you were called the N-word on the train. What happened there?
It was pretty much. Sorry for all the moving around. I got to get my nutrition. That
Cool.
just allows me to keep talking to you, so we're good. So, the first time it was like a couple, right? And I was sitting in one of the really nicer seats because I paid for it. Because they have other seats that got like little things you can eat on, little holster and stuff like that, and the seats are more comfortable. And they got doors that close. And these people wanted to just go in there and sit down. Now, I don't really care. There's only 4 of them in there. There was 2 of them, and they wanted to sit apart. And they saw me sitting there, and they was like, and me and my gal sit together, like close to my face. And I don't like people close to my face. I don't like that at all. And I went like that, and I was like, yeah, but you don't got to get close to my face like that. And it was like, well, what are you going to do about it? And I stood up. I was like, give him the eyes like a lot. I was like, I'm sitting here because it's like it's locked in, and I got to let them know. It's like, I'm not going to put up with it. And then I'm thinking to myself, why am I dealing with this on a fucking train? I was like, what is going on? I had to stand to prevent myself from getting into a fight. I try to stand up and intimidate you first. I mean, that's the thing you want to do. You try to intimidate them first. If you know that no matter what, if it gets to that, you're going to get into a fight because you can't run. There's only one way out. The other one door has to push a button and leave your back turned and then go out. The other one, you could just walk out of it. The other set was 2 sides. So I had to stand up to let this guy know I'm not going to put up with it. And he goes, all right, so that's what I said, and he started talking about, and he sat down, his wife pulled him down. And he goes like, where are you from, N-word? And I go,
what?
I looked down, looked around. I was like, all right, here's what we're going to do. You're going to shut the fuck up, and I'm going to keep doing my thing. And I said, you know what? I said, I'm probably just going to go to another one. I was like, he probably will follow me or something like that. And I just said, I'm just going to stay here, not worry about this dude. He probably might have a weapon. Anything could happen. So I thought about it, and I started walking by. I said, that's right, N-word. You don't belong. Go to another one. I just did like that. And when I saw one of the conductors, I told him about him. And he went in there and started talking to him and everything. And I'm pretty sure the guy lied. Got to come back. He said, just came back, just stay away from there, just stay out of that area. If it bothers you, just, let us know. There's a button right there you could push and you could talk directly to, the local police or whatever like that. It goes right to us and them. And it's like a little phone. So soon as you pick it up, it hooks up to them to let you know that you're having trouble on the train. So that, and then and it ended there. I didn't see him again.
What the flip is going on in Australia? So, Bobby, you're telling me you're staying in a spot that you paid for, right? You paid for that particular spot. White guy comes in with his girlfriend, gets in your face, and told you to move and calls you the N-word. But was it only was that spot only 1 seat or 2 seats?
It was 4. It was 4. So there was no reason for him to do that.
What the flip? So he just didn't want a black person around him. Yo, in Brisbane, Australia, what the flip is going on here? How about the girlfriend? She was just quiet. She didn't say anything.
No.
Two white people.
Got to tell them to stop. She looked Hispanic. Like she was maybe from Brazil or something like that.
She wasn't
prettier. No, yeah, she wasn't like she was like kind of chunky and weird, had really bad teeth. He was dirty too. He looked like he just got off work. He was dirty as fuck, dirty and really smelly and weird. I didn't even want to touch him. I'm real anal, man. I don't like filth and disgusting. So if you dirty, I'll probably really prevent from trying to fight you because I don't want to touch you. That's me.
Flipping heck. Okay. So brother, would you say in Australia, right? it was in Brisbane, it was more, as a Western black man, you had more bad experiences than good experiences, or more good and bad? And be real here, bro. Be real.
I would say more good than bad. More good than bad. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, I would definitely say that. I didn't have a bunch of luck. I mean, the whole thing about like going to another country, you know, what they really like checking for us or something like that. I know you like to get to that question, so I'm gonna let you ask it when you ask it, so I can answer to you right on time.
So,
But yeah, it's. I would say I did have a lot of fun because I did other things. I went to other neighborhoods, and it's a nice area. Brisbane is a nice area. It looks beautiful. The location is, but the thing about it is, it's the people that make it like that. And the government down there is actually trying. You could tell the government tries in Australia. You could tell. You could tell that they're actually trying to, because the police treated me really respectfully. Every time I talk to the police, it's a soft smile, it's warm, and they're going out of their way to make me feel welcome. So there's that. And that every time, every single police, like um, city personnel, when I was asking for directions and assistance, yeah, it was nothing. And I talked to them about my experience, and every time I told like a security or police about what I experienced, you could tell that their spirit just sank, and they just can't. They just do this. And in reality, because as soon as I speak, they know I'm American, so they're real. It's hitting them that a Black American from the United States just got called the N-word in Australia, and they like, no, please don't say that. And they're like, yeah, well, it did happen. They don't want
wow.
that. They don't want that. That's not to them. That's not good. But you have to understand something too. This is after an Australian woman got murdered by a police officer, a Ethiopian police officer at that. Everyone want to know that the guy that killed that Australian woman, when a woman ran up to the police car, Australian woman, to let him know that a woman was being raped in the alley, and he just leaned up around his partner and killed that guy. It was Ethiopian.
Keep it PG, like remember, keep it coded. Deleted.
Okay.
SA deleted, please, just for purposes, man. SA deleted. Go keep it coded, please.
Yeah.
So let me ask this right. So, now you were there. What kind of lives are Black Australians living there in Australia? Be real here, because you mentioned how bad. Break it down. Jeez.
I saw so many broke, poor, and atrocious looking Black people and Africans walking around Australia. I saw some that looked like they have their lives together, but you could tell that they are looked down on. They are not hired for jobs, and they're not accepted. Out in Brisbane.
Huh.
And the bums on the street begging for money. But I remember I saw these two Kenya dudes. They looked like they were young, and they were fit, but you could tell they're not all that enthused about being there. And they said they didn't really know what they were getting themselves into when they came out here because their parents brought them out here. I said, do you like being here? They said, it's all right. It's like they would like to go somewhere else. And I asked them, I remember they told me Japan. They just wanted to go to Japan, whatever the case may be. I said, why? They said they heard a lot about it. One of their uncles was in the British, not the Australian military, but the British military, and they went to Japan. And he was in Japan, and he said how much he loved it. He used to tell them all about it. Now they want to go. But other than that, saw a lot of weird stuff. But you do not see him walking around Australia looking good and happy and living life. and just in good spirit. You don't see that. I didn't see any of that. Not in Brisbane. But I did see it in Gold Coast. But you see a lot of ghetto-ness in Gold Coast too. The way they carry themselves on there, little hood, but for the most part, the energy is sorry, it's nightlife and everybody's out there, but you see a lot more of them out in the Gold Coast than you do in Brisbane. It's like they know they don't come here. They don't come out there.
So you're telling me that Black people get treated better in Gold Coast compared to Brisbane? You actually saw like
no, not necessarily. It's just more of them there.
Yeah,
they still look like they ain't got a lot of money.
This is sad, man. What's going on in those two cities? Brother, I'm guessing that there's a racial hierarchy in Australia. White man first, then Asians, then Indians, then Aboriginals, and then Black people. Is that what you saw there? Damn.
But let me be clear. You do not see white people walking around in Brisbane looking all high class and uppity and, above it all and well intelligent and Three's Company style and, Leave the Beaver and all happy go and, reading books. Nah, no. You see a lot of redneck lifestyle out there. And a lot of times when you see people who have a lot of money, it's really it's not normally just them. It's a lot of Indians with a lot of money, foreigners from other countries, like from I saw a lot of Russians out there with a lot of money. A lot of the homes in my area were owned by Russians and Indians and Asians. So now the reason why I say that, because when you could tell that the people who really own land, own the big businesses, and they live in a really, really expensive homes, that's when you really start seeing like it's their land. And they make sure that they make moves that they'll let these foreigners in, buy land here and there, build homes, start businesses, make their money. A lot of Asians are there, but there's really clear that the Australians do not like the Asians, and they push them around. They don't like them. They do not like, especially the Chinese. What's that?
Is that what you saw? Is that what you saw? Is that what you heard?
Yes, I did.
And what you saw?
No, that's what I saw.
What did you see there?
Did I see him literally getting pushed around? No, I didn't see him literally getting pushed around. What I saw is how they just make sure they make way for him, because the Asians just they toot around. You could tell by the body language that they know that if they get shoved out of the way, they'll you better let them get away with it. That you could tell. You could just tell. But you see a lot of poor redneck lifestyle, redneck characteristics out there, especially in Brisbane. And when you go to the clubs, if you go to the wrong clubs, you'll see some disgusting stuff. Not like Berlin, kind of close. The way they live, the way they dress, the way they party, the way they collude with each other, like the men and women and everything. And I'm gonna tell you right now, when you're out there, you're not going to be walking around the nightclubs and see a bunch of girls and be like, man, I want to get one of these girls. And you're not going to do that. You may see a good-looking girl there and a good-looking girl there, but you're not going to be like, damn, wow, this girl, head turners and stuff like that. Nope. Prettiest girl I saw when I was out there was actually, I think she was either Pakistan or Iranian or something like that. But she was kind of with her friends, and it was a guy there. And you could tell by the energy over there that it's probably not a good time to walk up to her and try to get her number. Plus, I was only there for a month, and I wasn't really feeling it, so I wasn't going to extend my stay. Could have easily stayed there for 2 more months, obviously. It's always 90 days, all over Europe and Australia and a lot of these other Europe and Eastern Europe countries. It's always 90 days. But you could just tell that people there did not like it. So I talked to a lot of people, and I asked them because I asked a lot about, I try to get the information from people where I didn't feel comfortable exploring these things on myself to find out on my own. So I talked to a lot of people, and one of the things that they told me was, what it was clear, is they have no idea why the absolute F I chose to go to Brisbane, Australia. Why did you come here? What is it about that? I just said, I'm foreign, and I just wanted to see what it was like. And they go, oh, what, do you like it? I'm like, yeah, it's all right. They go, okay. I was like, do you have any recommendations? And everyone said, go to the Gold Coast for the nightlife. And they said that Melbourne is really somewhere you would like the most. And a lot of people did say that, Perth and Melbourne. And if anything, Sydney, the only thing about Sydney is it is unbelievably expensive. If you want your very own Airbnb for a month, you better be getting ready to spend like at least $5,000 at the minimum.
Heck. Damn.
4 if you're lucky. You want something nice? You want a washer and dryer like me? I want a full-blown apartment. If it's not a full-blown apartment, I'm not going to choose it. That prevents me. But if I can't find one, I'm willing to spend some money. The most I spent was on an Airbnb for the month was $4,200. That's the most. That was in Spain. Spain. I spent that in Spain, and I don't regret it because it was bad.
So Barcelona, right? Barcelona?
Yeah, Barcelona. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Barcelona. It's a great city. So James, let me ask this, right? So let's talk about the Asians and the Indians there, right? So I know for a fact that they got money there. They're doing very well there, successful there. They by all metrics there, they're very successful. But you feel like the power structure, like the white man can take it away from them at flick of a finger. Is that what you're saying, bro? The white man can just make some law.
White people are like this. You good. You can make money here, start a business here, do that in the third, whatever. You just make sure you know who to respect. And everyone knows the deal there. Nobody messes with the white man there. The white man is the king. No one messes with him. And they don't really, and because of that, you could tell they don't really try to excel that much. They walk, you can just see them. It's like there's a lot of zombies, a lot of drugs, a lot of drinking. Just they be on a train taking, like, they'll drink a bottle and they bust it on the ground, spitting on the ground, throwing their food in all over the place, getting drunk and fighting. Girls just dressed with, their skirt up, their panties showing. During the weekends on nightlife, that's what you're gonna get that. And I got exposed to this because I was always taking a train, because where I lived and where all the attraction is, which is downtown area, an Uber would have cost me like almost like $35 to $40, almost $60, depending on what time it was. And the train was like $4. So I'll take the train. And it was constantly all throughout the night. So the train was nice and fluid. So I just kept taking the train. Save money when I can. It's not necessarily take an Uber every time, spend all that money. Everywhere I wanted to go, went to the zoo, went to the museums and everything, which was nice. And also, like I met a nice girl there, and I met her at a really Seabrook, which was a nicer area there. I'm probably saying it wrong. And you go out there, and that's where you see a lot of the upscale people. Everyone's chilling, everyone dressed nice restaurants, but you still see the redneck lifestyle. And that's when I was caught up, came across a couple Americans that were out there. And the American white dudes that I met, they gravitated to me quick. And I knew what that was about. Usually when you see that, it's because they don't feel like they fit in over there.
Mm.
They are seen as the enemy to the local white Australian guys. And they told me that they feel they're jealous of white American guys because white American guys go over there and they clean up on Australian women. You know what I'm saying? They clean up. And, you know, Australian guys do pretty good in, you know, when they're really attractive, they do pretty good in the U.S. as well, but not like American guys do when they're in Australia. And it was like saying how weird and, you know, like just strange it is the Australian guys are, or the Australian people are there. And it's like, and he was just, you know, saying that like, they like it here because there was so many beautiful women. Life is just so, everyone is like, you know, on easy mode here. They don't really take themselves too serious. And you just kind of like live your life how you want it. No one really cares how you know, what you're doing. And that is true for the most part. No one really cares what anybody's doing. And when you're walking around Australia, no one cares. And they kind of would ask that you not care about what they're doing as well. They mind their business big time. That's like Germany as well.
So brother, now we will get to women very part in a bit, but I just want to touch upon again the demographics there in Australia, right? Now, let's talk about Black women in Australia, Indian women, and Asian women. Now, brother, I'm gonna say, right, I'm gonna assume that all of them are chasing after white dudes. Is that what you saw out there?
Not really the Asian women. So I did have a conversation with this Asian girl there. We were kind of dated, like, you know, a little bit, because she had to go. She was only there for a few days. We kind of hung out a little bit. And she was saying that white guys in you know, out here are disgusting. And she said a lot of Asian women feel that way when they come here. They don't like them. They kind of like them when they come here, but as soon as they're here for a while, they don't like them anymore. And for a lot of times when a Black woman come here, they just get passed around.
Damn.
Yeah, they get passed around. And they, the Black women here they kind of treat the Black guy, Australian guy, the Black Australian, you know, the locals, they treat them the same way Black American women treat Black men in the United States. They got the same complaints.
Flipping heck.
So Black guys here, they just go for the white girls. They don't bother light-skinned Black women. What's that?
Did you see Black Australian men with white women there, good-looking white women?
Not as much, more so on the Gold Coast. They were all over each other in the Gold Coast. So it was all good there. And the nightclubs, yeah. Dancing with everybody. And like I said, when I was out there, I did get attention. It wasn't like I was getting rejected. More, I didn't get as much attention in Brisbane as I did in the Gold Coast. But
okay,
you know, I don't really like nightclub girls, so that's just fun in nightclubs. When I leave the nightclubs, I like to go home with just me. I don't really like the nightclub girls. So to me, it's like nothing. I want to be able to, like, you know, go to a nice day bar, have a burger and a beer, or go over see a nice girl, smile at me, come over and we start talking and we meet up and, you know, go somewhere else. Like, let's leave here and go to a museum and get to know each other and go from there. I like that. I don't like going to a nightclub. We got to drink and buy her a drink and all this BS in the nightclubs. It's pointless.
So, okay, brother, what about the Indian women in there? I know there's a lot of Indian women out there in Australia. Were they with white men or were they with their own men?
They're men and white men. And when you see them, and I saw some pretty ones there, they look like they're scared to death to give me eye contact.
Huh.
Yeah. They're scared. They don't want to engage.
Wow. And brother, you're light brown, light skin, and I'm just like the Brisbane experience. That city must be really, really weird, man. Twin Peaks type weird, bro. Twin Peaks type weird. If I'm honest with you, bro. I'm not sure you've seen that TV show, but that's how
I
weird it
love
must be,
that
bro.
show, man. Who dissing? That show was dope. Y'all better get on that. You want to binge watch something? Watch Twin Peaks.
So,
And they got it
brother,
in. They remastered it too, by the way, so you can see it in full HD.
brother, let me ask this right. So, in terms of business opportunities there and investments there, right? Is there any sort of opportunities there for passport bros to do business there, invest there, or avoid?
Oh no, I mean, business opportunities there is social media. I tell you right now, there's one thing about Australia is they indulge in American media and entertainment. They only, when you go to the clubs, they're listening to hip hop everywhere. Hip hop everywhere, 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 everywhere. Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop. They walk around and they dress in style like they're black, or punk rock. Just that's the only two you see. Or the ones that just walk around. They walk around redneck style, but they're listening to hip hop. You know, hillbilly looking dudes, or skinny, weird punk rock. All just not a lot of healthy looking people. All right, not a lot of healthy looking people. Fit and upright and focused people that just, like what you see, like when you go out to Piccadilly Circle and at around, Piccadilly Circle, Circus, I always say circles, Piccadilly Circus at around like 4 p.m. on a Wednesday, the kind of people you see there, that kind of crowd you would expect when you go out there, but you need to go to like Seabrook to really see it. In those little areas, little pockets of areas, because those apartments are very expensive, right by the river. So, I mean, but for the most part, you're not going to see that. But as far as like opportunities, there's a lot of real estate opportunities, because there's a lot of places that are selling for like decent prices that you can buy up and start renting out to the locals. That's what's happening a lot right now. I mean, this stuff is up for grabs. A lot of Uber opportunities. What I mean by that is there's a lot of opportunities in Australia that are like Uber. You can go out there and be a DJ. If you're a DJ, they're looking for American DJs. They like American DJs out there. A lot of you could go out there and make music. They want that American. They want that American entertainment out there. So they want it. So there's a lot of opportunities. A lot of opportunities for IT. You're an IT professional. There's going to be work out there for you, and they do pay well. I mean, this is Australia. They got money. That's one thing that's just to let you know. The country of Australia has money. They ain't broke. And they got their own money. They got a lot of it from, a little bit from slave trading, but not as much as what people think. Just look at the history of Australia. They got their own money.
Facts. So, James, let me ask this right. So, more about the people, right? Because I'm looking at the demographics there. Australia, there's 57% of white people in Australia, then 17% are Asian, then 3.2% are Middle Eastern and North African. So, but when it comes to people, right? How in general, how are Australian people like? Are they kind people, or is it 50-50 with them on average, brother? How would you describe the personality, brother, of Australian people, and maybe do it by race if it's easier for you?
I would say that the Asians are humbled, so they don't really. They try to keep to themselves. when you talk to them, you could tell that they're humbled and they just give you a decent response and not try to throw no extra on there. They're not trying to be extra or anything like that. And I don't feel like they're like, oh my God, it's a black person. I didn't get any of that from them. The Indians really don't want nothing to do with anybody. But when I talk to everybody, because that's how I'm getting my information. I'll randomly walk up to people and just strike up a conversation. And that's what I had to do. And the good part about it, the good thing to know is I did it a lot. But for the most part, it is 50-50. Like what I experienced on the train 3 times in a row, I wasn't walking around and feeling like that if I walk into the wrong place or the wrong bar, I'm gonna get that. I was in a nice area most of the time, and I was walking all through the streets and because I had a gym that I went to. I was like a mile away. I literally had to walk. I wanted to walk it. So sometimes I'll walk it, sometimes I'll jog to and from the gym. And I didn't feel like my safety was I didn't really see a lot of cops riding around in the street. I never heard a siren, cop siren going to help somebody. I did see the ambulance a few times. I didn't feel like, if I take a wrong down this street, I'm going to be up in a sundown town or something like that. People see me walking down the street. It's like, no, it's all good. Nobody honking a horn. I walk in the stores, and where I was walking by, it was 3 Indian restaurants, and only Indians were in there eating. And I would just walk by, and it's like, well, good. And I was smiling. I went into the Indian store and I got some stuff. When I was talking to them, they treated me, decent. Just talking to me like regular. Just showing me around. It was a little weird how they kept their stores, and like I don't really like Indian food like that, so I didn't eat anywhere. I didn't eat at the restaurants. I don't go to Indian restaurants. I just don't go to. Or actually, I don't go to Asian restaurants anymore neither. I have my reasons. I don't go to them no more. No more. It's done. Yeah, I didn't feel like I probably shouldn't go there because they just don't want me there because I'm black. But I do know that I can't just go anywhere. I can't really. I'm not going to be 100% accepted all over the areas where I was. I know, and you can tell that people are like, as long as you respect us and you do your thing, you're fine. I don't care. Which train should I take to go here? Oh, yeah. Just take this down the third, all right, have a good one. Are you American? Yeah, wow, blah, 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 so on and so forth. But that doesn't mean if they were having a cookout and I walk by, I say, hey, you're so-and-so. Yeah, come on, have a burger. That's not how it's not that well. However, it's not one of those places where I feel like I'm going to be, some guy's going to drive around in a red pickup truck and shoot me with a shotgun, like United States. So if you compare it to the United States, it's paradise as far as accepting of people who look like me. But I did get called the N-word, and we all know that there are many sectors in the United States that if you go, you're going to be a lot more called the N-word. You're going to get lynched.
Flipping heck. So, brother, so let me ask this right. So now, what about the black people there in Australia? Was there a connection between Black American people and them? Did you feel really love from them and embrace from them?
Yeah. I didn't feel like they weren't different. And it's Africans from Africa, not a lot of Black Americans. I saw one black dude that was from Atlanta. And he said he was, he didn't like it, but it wasn't too bad. And I saw you've been out there. He said he's been out there for like 6 months. He works at a tech company. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, he been out there for like 6 months. He said he's going to be out here for a year. And he said he's thinking about going, you know, some other places. So, you know, he was like, he kind of knew about some of the sectors and, you know, internet news. So you knew about the whole passport bro thing. And, you know, we was talking about that. And he was like saying, you know, I wouldn't really recommend out here. And he was mentioning that he did go out to Melbourne a couple of times. He said it is way better there. The women, you know, kind of like us out there, so it was really not that bad. So I wouldn't mind going back out there to see about Melbourne. I would, you know, if y'all want to see, I probably recommend going out there. Don't go to Sydney, don't go to the Gold Coast. I mean, you can party out there, whatever, but you're better off in Melbourne. But it's not a party. It's not a party place. But this depends on what you're going there for, I guess. That's New York or Las Vegas. Like, what do you want to do? Why? What are you asking? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I feel like it was like they was really glad to see me. When they see me, they were like smiling, like, "Yo, where you from? Where you from?" Or, you know, it was, you know, well, you know, in African language. You know, I was just meeting a lot of people from all over. You know, a lot of them were from met people from the Congo, met people from Nigeria, South Africa. Just meeting a lot of them. There was like most all were in the Gold Coast. And the reason why is because it was offering a lot of work for Africans out there. And it's something that you don't know about. What they're able to do is they bring them out there, get this cheap work, even especially in IT, because there's a lot of professionals in Africa and you don't have to pay them a lot. Fly them out here, pay them a little bit of money, work on these projects that last such amount of time. And then you could just like let them go. And a lot of times they stay because they're not going to go back to, you know, the Congo, especially with the Congo going on right now. Don't nobody want to go to Congo. Going back to Nigeria or Kenya out here, whatever, they don't want to come. They don't want to return. They don't want to go back. So they stay there, and then they get to the point where it's almost impossible for them to go back, and they end up broke. They don't know what to do. So that happens. There's a lot of it too. A whole lot of it, unfortunately.
So, brother, now in Australia, right? What's your advice for brothers who want to meet people and make friends there? How would you go about it, brother? How would you meet people there? How would you make friends there? Or would you say don't really go there?
I would say go there with an open mind, and like if you still want to go anyway, just say, James, he'll know what he's talking about. That's cool. I don't blame you doing that. I do that. I've done that. Go out there and be like, you know, whatever. Just be open-minded and have with a positive, open spirit, a smile on your face. When you go out to the bars and clubs, if that's what you want to do, be the life of the party. Be open to making friends. Don't take yourself too serious. Don't try to dress all up GQ style because they don't do that. The Gold Coast they kind of do. There's some spots out there where you want to dress up. But a lot of places where you just local bars, dive bars, they don't dress up. And if you dress up too much, you're going to stick out and they're probably going to want you to leave because they feel like you're trying to upstage them. And that's true in London as well, especially Berlin. Don't try to GQ up in Berlin. Nobody does that. Nobody does that in Berlin. There is no GQ. No one that cares about your Gucci and your Louis Vuitton. It's gonna be like, get out of here. Oh, they don't do that out there. Anywhere in Berlin. Hamburg as well. They don't do that in Hamburg either. Yeah, just be open-minded. Be friendly. And just know that you're gonna be in the process of doing that, you are gonna run across someone who just doesn't like you, and they're just gonna want to mess your day up. Buy him a beer. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying just go around just spending all your money buying people beer, but you guys don't know where I'm coming from. But there's a lot of people who can't do that, no matter how hard they try. Their shell is a little harder to crack than others, and I get that. But that's if you can do that, you can pull that off. Because a lot of black people, what we like to do, we like to post up and mind our own business, look good, GQ up, get your drink on, and just I'm cool. Look around, get some girls' attention. Do this right here. Come over there, talk to her, low key. That's what we like to do. A lot of places in Australia, you won't be able to do that because it's happening. Everything's moving too fast.
Awesome, bro. So, brother, now let me ask you, brother, about transportation. So, how were you moving around in Brisbane and Gold Coast? Was it bus? Was it subway? Was it the overground? How were you moving around, brother? Or Uber?
Trains and Ubers. And Ubers were expensive. Ubers were expensive.
Okay, thank you, bro. Now, brother, do you use cash out there, or is it cashless in Australia?
Yeah, cash and mostly cash. There's a lot of places you'll come across. They're behind the times out there, believe it or not. They really don't use a lot of cards out there. You'll go to a lot of places and they'll be like, nope, we want cash.
Okay, thank you, bro.
Believe it or not.
Now, brother,
Yeah.
when it comes to food, right? Did you like Australian food? If so, what was your favorite Australian cuisine?
Oh, I mostly cooked, but I did go to a
Okay.
few restaurants, eating lamb and burgers and stuff like that. Because of the restaurants, I can't really judge how well they cook out there because I didn't go to some local mom and pop places. I didn't do that. I went to really high end restaurants, and they cooked all right. They weren't like I was like, wow, man, there's some amazing cook chefs back there. There was none of that. And they eat the same thing we eat. All the restaurants in the US, it's the same. They copy us. They copy us to the core. They copy us a lot.
Awesome. Okay. So, brother, cost of living, right? When you compare Brisbane and Gold Coast to America, which is more expensive? Is it similar prices, or is Australia more expensive than America? Brisbane and Gold
Brisbane and
Coast.
the Gold Coast is similar to around Seattle, price wise, where the level of expense. It's around the same. And if the closer to the water you get, you can get up to where it's to San Francisco. But that's like, it's not like that all over. It's just when you really want it, it jumps up. It jumps up high. Because those areas is just right in these really, really richly nice areas, right close to the water. Like there's a really nice apartment complex, building that's like right on a river. You can see the bridge and you look out and you see nothing but the ocean. I thought they were going for $1,800 a month. But the girl had corrected me and said it was $3,800 a month. Because I had my my currency exchanger. It wasn't right. I was like, oh, okay. That's where it started. Now it's for a 1-bedroom. But it's not like that. We just go back a little far, like a half a mile down. And those you get some for like 1,900, 1,800. And the further back you go, it kind of goes down, but it's not going to drop below 1,500.
Okay, brother, cell phone roaming out there. Did you have to buy a new SIM card, or did your American provider provide roaming out there for internet?
Nah, I always get the new SIM. I don't have service anymore in the US. I had T-Mobile and I just cut it off. I just get a chip. I'm using a chip now. I just go around every country I go to, take my old chip, chuck it, and get a new chip. So I've been shipping it all over the world. So I don't really know.
Awesome, bro. So, brother, tell me about safety, right? In Gold Coast and Brisbane, when you're by yourself with friends in the nightlife or whatever, did you feel safe there, or did you feel like in danger in some parts?
Yeah, nah, I didn't feel like I step on somebody's shoe. I'm going to end up in something. They'll probably go, "Oh, my bad." I say, "Oh no, you're all good." It was like that, and it was none of that.
Okay. And brother, apart from the 3 racist incidents that happened, do you feel like, even though that happened, right, Australia is not a racist country, or it is a racist country? It is, and we can't deny that. From what you see, observed, on average, it's a racist country.
Yes, it's racist,
Damn.
but it's not. It's racist in a sense where just the white man is better. As long as you give us that energy, we'll be all right. You'll be all right. They do
Okay.
raise their daughters and tell their daughters not to date black men, but they do not raise their sons and tell them not to date black women or Aboriginal or colored people is what they call everyone who's not white. You're colored people.
Wow.
They raise their
Okay.
daughters, but they don't raise their sons. They'll tell their
What
sons not.
about what about institutional racism? Did you sense that over there? You
Hell
know,
yeah.
institutional. Damn.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You get in trouble if you get into a fight. You black, you white. You'll find out. They'll look at you too and be like, "Oh hell no, you did it." If you don't have any proof that you're the innocent one, you're going. You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
Wow. Wow.
And that's just embedded into their brain. They're not like American police. Nah, I didn't get that at all. Going around deliberately looking for black people, and if no one's watching, just pull out a gun and shoot you, and then say you thought it was your taser or some crap like that. Nah, it's not that. If that was like that, you wouldn't even have to ask me, and I probably wouldn't even go to Australia because it would have been blatantly obvious. It's rare. Someone getting shot by a cop is rare, but police know who the problem. The police. When I talk to them, they know who the problem is, and it ain't people who look like me. I'll give you an example of how the police. So there was a bunch of kids that got into a big brawl on the train. And you would wonder, did I record it? That's something you don't want to do. Pulling out your phone as a foreigner and filming all that, and they catch you, they're going to confiscate your phone. They're going to take your phone, and they're going to ask you to delete the footage. And if you don't, you're going to be in court. You know, they got certain laws behind it, but you can't exactly really do that. But believe me, trust me, a lot of people do it anyway. There was actually a couple people other doing. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to smoke. And the cop came on the train once it stopped because it was fighting for a while, and they kept going because no one wanted to interfere. And I stood back and just let the fight it was fighting over there, and it just kind of tumbled all a bunch of them, and it just kept going they was fighting and just traveling throughout, like a big old dust of white hands flopping and slapping all over each other, girls and mostly teenagers, not really adults. And they were going at it, man. And when a cop got on there, he was like yelling really like a military soldier with his hands down like this, not touching anybody. So I'm guessing there's some kind of law in that you can't just grab and start roughing them up, especially because they're teenagers. Maybe that's what it was. I didn't ask. I really even wanted to do with it. And he was just like yelling, like right over him, "Stop, effing stop." Just like that, yelling loud, like as loud as he could. "Stop." And putting his hands down like that, but he didn't touch nobody. They just kept on fighting until eventually they stopped on their own, and and he just followed them out, kept going, walking behind, following them out, and they all of them got off the train. It was at least 8 of them going at it. So that shows you how the police handle things.
So, James, right? Tell me about the culture of Brisbane and Gold Coast. Do you think it leans more conservative, or is it lean more liberal, or in the middle of both?
Liberal is liberal. But the women are extra feminist, and the men and the women, for the most part, beefing with each other like there's no tomorrow. There's a lot of domestic violence in Australia. And when I say a lot, I mean, it's like you hear about a guy going upside his wife's head, and I was like, yeah, well, that's Australia.
Flipping heck. So, but you're telling me that
Always.
it's so Brisbane, Gold Coast, liberal. You saw a lot of feminism there from the woman. Um, Interesting, because normally societies that are really racist would be actually no, that doesn't make any sense because UK is liberal but it is racist as well. America's liberal is racist too. Okay, it makes sense. It makes sense. Okay, so liberal in that aspect, feminism. You got the whole men and gender war. So, but you're saying that men and women in Australia are fighting each other, but the Australian white man gets all the women, most of the women, but without a
And he
doubt.
beats them
Okay,
all. They
okay,
they hit women in Australia, big time. They'll go right upside their head.
wow.
Fast.
Flip, damn. So, brother, now how bad is American influence and culture in Australia? Is it really strong there and really bad? Really bad?
It's as if they are literally programmed to tune in to America. They can't help themselves. They don't even have their own. They don't really make a lot. They got their local TV shows, but they're corny as hell. But you grew up with it, so you like what you grew up with. So they got that. But for the most part, they entertain themselves with our entertainment, our music, our movies, everything. That's why movies and music does so well in Australia. Iggy Azalea is not a fluke. There's a lot of women, Australian women like that out there. And you see it a lot in the Gold Coast. Like Iggy Azalea. There's Iggy Azaleas all over on the Gold Coast.
Brother, you know Kanye West, right, is dating an Australian woman. Is Kanye and his girlfriend, were they big out there? Did you hear them people talking
Hell
about
yeah.
the relationship?
They'll lose their minds if Kanye West walked down the street. They think he's crazy. They think he's a loony, but they like his entertainment. But it's normal. That is the style. They like their entertainers to be a little off their blicker. Like they don't want a conservative entertainer or rapper or something like that. They don't want that. They want you a little nuts. They like that. Big time they like that. That's why a lot of Australian rock and roll artists back in the day, they were always atrocious and weird and cracked out and weird and smelly looking. That's what they like. Grunge.
Wow. So
that's why.
Brother, now,
yeah, go ahead.
go on.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Bro. So
That's,
brother, now
go ahead. My bad. Go ahead. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
So
You got
brother,
it.
now, brother, in terms of lifestyle, right? Now, there's two questions here. Number one, you living there, you been there for a bit. What kind of lifestyle were you living there in Australia? Was it high class, middle class, lower class?
I was living. I was kind of moving the same way I did when I was living in Seattle. I try to dress in a way where I don't stick out too much, but I look presentable. When I knew where I was going, so I would do my research on wherever I'm going. I did my research on these places before I went. And I went to a lot of really upscale, nice places. And I went to a lot of places and I knew I wouldn't really like, but I had to go anyway because I wanted to see what it was like. So I dressed accordingly. And you can tell that these places where I went to, they're trying to fit in. Everyone is trying to fit in to an illusion. Because it's not really them. They're actually trying to dress the part of something that's not really their culture. They're trying to be trying to be a little upscale. And it's just something, and they're trying to live up to a lifestyle that they saw on TV. And you see a lot of it where I was. So it's all fake. They're not really like that. They want to live, they really are like Steve Irwin. Is that what his name is? The animal guy that died because of Stingray stabbed him in the heart? That what his name is?
Yep, that's his name.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what they're like. I mean, that's their culture. But they don't want to do that because they want to get away from that. It's weird.
Wow. So, brother, now from what you saw out there, what's the lifestyle of the average Australian there in Gold Coast and Brisbane? Now, you mentioned now, I know for a fact that there is a lot of money in Australia. So, when you say that the average Australian there, obviously the white Australians, right, are Indians, whatever, are living a very high class lifestyle, rich, big cars, or
Yeah,
is it more middle class?
absolutely. You will, when you go to the wealthy areas, you're going to see a lot of BMWs. They like BMWs here. BMW and Mercedes are extremely popular. You go to the really nice, you will see Lamborghinis. You're going to see Porsches. Um, I didn't go to the areas where you're going to see Rolls Royce and everything. I didn't make it too far like that. But they stay away from society for the most part. And they really escape to the beach areas, and they don't really walk around downtown too much. When they do, they don't really dress up or try to floss their Rolexes and stuff like that and wear chains and expensive name brand stuff. You didn't really see that much. But you could tell the wealthy ones because their demeanor and their energy is like, they don't feel like they have to participate in society. They don't feel like they have to prove anything to anybody. They're calm and they're chill spirit. You know what I'm saying? Melancholic, and they kind of live like that. And I can tell that because I worked in sales before. You definitely know. You know them when you see them. So that's the kind of lifestyle you really see when you really go to the real expensive areas, and that, for the most part, is how the wealthy live. But when you get the middle class or someone just below the middle class, and they're trying to present themselves as if they are the upper class, you will see them dress real nice, and they only talk amongst them and their friends. They're not trying to be part of the whole nightlife setup and thing. And they're just sitting down, talking amongst each other, have something to eat, have a couple of drinks, and then they get out of there. So it's not like they're mixing and mingling throughout the city and everything. So they don't really go to the bars. They don't really go to the nightclubs. You don't really see that. You only see the lower class people that do that. But some of the upscale bars, you'll see them, and you could tell that the ones that are actually spending their money and doing it, they're not the white Australians. You see some of them out there, but not too much. Not too much.
Awesome. Thank you, bro. So, brother, now tell me things to do there, hobbies. Like, what did you do out there for entertainment, brother, in your time in Brisbane and Gold Coast? Tell me things to do there, bro, as a tourist.
As a tourist, I did a couple tours. I always do a tour. And they just toured around Australia. They went to the outback, to see kangaroos and all kinds of, the animals out there and stuff like that. And that was pretty cool. I went to the zoos. I went to the museums. These are things that I commonly do everywhere I go, which were kind of boring. Their museums are really not that, they don't have a lot there. One of them actually did, and had some dinosaurs and had some, ancient animals, whatever. But a lot of people didn't go. There was not a lot of people on these tours, not a lot of people at the museums, and not a lot of people, out watching the kangaroos, whatever. You just didn't really see a lot of them doing that. Feed a koala bear. He's doing that. But they have that. So what you would actually get a good dose of when you do go on these like safaris and stuff like that, you will get a dose of people who are visiting Australia, but at the same time, when you talk to them, you'll realize that they feel like they're a little bit better than the locals. That's weird. The white locals, the ones that are visiting from like London or something like that, they kind of look down at Australians. Even if the Australian look like they got a little bit of money, I never seen that before, but they actually do. They think they're better.
Interesting. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, I
Great
know.
breakdown. So, brother, now weather, I'm assuming was incredible during your time there. Very, very hot. So was it cold when you were there, bro?
Hot in the day, but a little cool at night. But it gets a little warm too. But it does get a little chilly, but not too much. For the most time, it's hot. But it rained a lot though. It rained a lot.
Okay.
Rained a lot.
So, brother, now nightlife. Okay. Want to now speak about being a black man in the nightlife of Gold Coast and Brisbane. So, how about we do Brisbane first, brother? Right. So, as a black man in the nightlife, there, brother, would you say in Brisbane you were ignored? You got no love. Don't even bother trying to pull a chick in the nightlife. It's not for black men.
Definitely, you can try, but I'm telling you right now, it's going to be no different in the States.
Damn.
They're not really checking for you. They're not like, and I've been to places where women were like, well, who's that guy? Giving me attention and saying, but I did see the kind of men who were getting the most attention, and it was the grungy looking white guys.
Oh, and brother, these were all races of women that were going after grungy looking white
Yes.
guys.
Yes.
Damn. Damn.
I mean, there was some girls that looked at me like, what are you doing here?
Whoa. Flipping heck. Across all races, or mostly white women giving you that look?
Across all races. But the white women are the ones who gave me attention the most. And I remember I started dancing with this one white girl, and her friend pulled me away and must have like whispered something. She looked at me with ugly. I guess she lied because it was I don't know anybody here. And I was like, man, that's something you experience in the U.S. And then a friend, and then some really big, over smelly looking white guy came over and started talking to the friend, and then that girl started dancing with him. And she looked good too. He was atrocious. And he smelled like a bag of donuts, a bag of old rotten donuts.
Wow. Okay. Brisbane, brother, during that nightlife, right? Brisbane, I'm guessing a lot of American hip hop being played, right?
What?
A lot of hip hop is being played, American hip hop.
Nothing but hip hop. Yeah. But there was one room where they played techno. They always have a room in hip hop and another room in techno. For most part, when you walk around all the places with a nightlife, it's nothing but hip hop.
Brother, I hope they're not saying the N word when it's in the lyrics. They skip out, right?
Hell yeah.
The people.
Yeah.
They're saying the N word?
They don't care. What are you gonna do about it?
Flipping heck. Brother, you heard the N word being said by them.
Yeah, you can see their lips moving. I mean, music is loud, so you can't really hear them. But yeah, they don't care. But it wasn't. I didn't really hear a lot of songs that had the N word in it. But they didn't really play a lot of that kind of hip hop. But you did hear it. I heard it. It did play that stuff. It played a lot of Kendrick Lamar, Kanye, Lil Wayne. All the new stuff. 50 Cent, all the new stuff. They played latest music.
They're playing Not Like Us, huh?
What's that?
They're playing Not Like Us, huh?
Yeah. They played that. You can see them dancing.
Flipping heck. So, brother, go on, bro.
I did get attention from some girls and stuff like that. But I remember one time I was talking to this girl, and the Aboriginal security guard, and this really happened, came up to me and grabbed my arm and said, "You come with me." You know what I'm saying? It was like, brought me outside, brought me at the club. It's like, man, what's going on, bro? What's going on? I'm like, what? It's like, you over there, filming girls and making girls feel uncomfortable. I said, what the fuck are you talking? What? And it was like, all right, man. It's like, look, man, don't be trying to. I was like, look, bro. I'm in my head. I'm like, you about to get knocked out. You accuse me of something like that, you could ruin my life. And I was like, yo, man, what is this? I said, I'm not stupid. I know you don't think that. I said, why are you bringing him out the club? He's like, look, bro, look, bro, just leave, go out of here, don't come back. And I was like, yeah,
What?
yeah, this happened to me. So I start walking, and this other security girl kind of was like, hey, calling me back, whatever. And I'm like, I started walking back, and I looked at him, and she stopped doing that and started talking to the other guy. And I'm like, yeah, I'm out of here. Fuck that. But I did. But there was another spot the following day, because it was Halloween weekend. I went out. I was out Thursday, and this happened. So Friday, there was another place down the street, because you pass by that place. There's another place that I wanted to go to that was actually real nice. And when I passed by it, that same girl came over and touched me like that. And she apologized to me and was saying he just wanted his friend to talk to the girl you were talking to. So she said, I don't know what he said to kick you out, but don't worry about it. You can come back. I was like, no, I'm not going to. She said, trust me. He's not going to bother you no more. Definitely come back. Definitely come back. And I was like, yeah, all right, sure. I never came back. I'm not stupid. But yeah, that happened.
Yo, yo, it's crazy to go line on your name doing that just for his dude. Nah, bruv.
Yeah.
This is Brisbane.
He grabbed
Brisbane
my arm too, and I was like, yo. And he was like, and I was like, oh, all right, well, I don't want that kind of smoke. One thing I don't mess around with police and security and stuff like that when I'm overseas. You better not do it either. They have the upper hand. They have the power. They are in power. You have no power whatsoever. Especially if you start getting to it with them. You're damn sure you done. You're done. I don't care what country you're in. You're done. That's a little side note for y'all. This doesn't matter where you are. But the thing about it is, they do that to dudes in Vegas too. Las Vegas, they just randomly just throw you out of the club.
Flipping heck. So,
yeah, they do that.
Brother, let me ask this right now. Tell me about the nightlife in Gold Coast. Now, tell me the black man's experience about the nightlife in Gold Coast, your experience, what other black men experience out there. Are the women checking for us in the nightlife in Gold Coast? Break it out for me, bro.
Yeah, they're checking for us out there. But I mean, it's not extra. It's not extra. So in other words, think about it is, for a while, people used to always hear about Australian women, how they love black men, this, on the third. Well, those days are unbelievably over. It's not like that. Not like that at all. So don't go out there under, in a mindset like it's back in the 90s and 80s and 90s. In the early 2000s when it started to fade, but it's not like that no more. You're just a dude, you're a guy just walking down the street, You might get a little bit of like if she is into black men and you're a black American and you're decent looking and you got yourself together and you got that American swag, that's going to give you some points. Those are facts. It's kind of like, if, you kind of like, Chinese women are obsessed with white men and you go to China and you're a white guy from Australia, but if you're a white guy from America or France, you're going to have a much better time. You know what I'm saying? Because there is a natural ongoing beef between China and Australia, and Australian men will never do as well as an American white guy in China. That's just something y'all don't know about. And especially in Australia, if you get a Chinese girl, and she's in Australia, and a white Australian guy talk to her, but another American guy, they look exactly the same. She's definitely going to pick the American dude, like hands down. It would be like a second notice, and those are 100% facts. So they don't win over them in Australia, not the Asian women.
Interesting. So, brother, now in the nightlife, right? You saw. So, brother, what race of women in Gold Coast nightlife did you see black men with the most? Was it white women? Was it Indian, Asian?
White women. Some Indian women too. Yeah, you see a little bit of it. I saw this one badass Indian girl. She had a big, tall, African dude with her. So there's that. And she was bad too. She was bad. So I did see that, but you can see that anywhere. But I do know that I saw this I mean, Thai woman, Thai girl. She was from Thailand, and she was actually in one of the clubs, and she was bad. She 100% had a Colombian girl's body, booty, and everything. Not like abnormal, like just never seen it. She was, well, I've seen it out there. I mean, like I said, these women are out in Thailand. They're just hidden. And she was not trying to mess with anybody but white dudes. Because there was a couple of African dudes in there, but the club I was at, they were all the black dudes in there was getting, they were getting ignored. There's one guy, one African dude, he had a girl with him. It was a white girl, this little really skinny little Australian white girl. They were just kind of hanging with each other, you know, dancing, whatever. So, but you will see some, like, for the most part in the Gold Coast, you'll see the African dudes, the black dudes, they kind of really going for the white women and African women, you know. So they kind of, you know, so some African women, you know, look good out there. I saw some Kenyan women. I danced with one Kenyan girl. You know, for the most part, you'll see that, but not a lot of it. You see most of the attention that they're getting is from other African women. You'll see some white girls, and they, you know, they don't have a problem with, you know, communicating and kind of dancing and having fun with African people. But when you see them like kissing, there was a lot of, you know, people kissing in a bar, really grinding everything. You really see the white guys getting all the girls, and they were Asian. There was some Asian girls. There were with some light-skinned black women, and some of that, you know, when the black African women who looked really good, they were with white guys. See, white guys, they had all the girls. And the African guys, they kind of take what they can get, but they got a little bit of attention from white girls and, you know, some African girls. But the African girls that were getting attention from did not look attractive at all. And there was some, you know, white girls that did look pretty good, and you were hanging with them. You see the Asian women, they were seeking out the African guys.
Wow. But did you see black guys with Chinese, Korean, Japanese in Gold Coast?
Yeah, you saw that. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So, brother, in the music wise in Gold Coast, again, I'm guessing it's hip hop, and
Hip-hop.
were they also saying the N-word?
Yeah.
Oh man.
But, you know, people were just talking in the community. They were like, you didn't see a lot of people singing with the songs, except for when it was like, you know, real popular. And, you know, they were just kind of singing along. And you had to really stare at somebody, listen to the whole song and watch their mouth move. Because I wasn't really looking for it. But they were bopping to the song, and it was saying N-word in it, and they didn't really care. You know, it wasn't like, they were like, the N-words in the song, and they look at a black dude, was like, to let you know that they're going to sing that part. So, you know, look, I'm saying the N-word, what are you going to do about it? It wasn't nothing like that. That was just enjoying the music.
So, brother, now let me ask this, brother, right? So, okay, now, brother, between Brisbane and Gold Coast, which are you picking if you were to live there, and tell me why?
No, Gold Coast. Gold Coast. See, it doesn't take long. It's just a $5 train ride to get to the Gold Coast from Brisbane, and it's about an hour. And Brisbane is a nicer area to live, but there's a lot of rich people that live in the Gold Coast as well. But it's expensive. I mean, real expensive.
So, brother, did you see rich black people living in Gold Coast?
Nope.
Damn.
I saw black people with a decent amount of money, but I ain't seen no rich black people.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I didn't see that.
Damn, that's upsetting, man.
Yeah, money.
So,
yeah, money. They weren't broke, but not rich.
Now,
But
brother.
it looked like they had
Now,
like a lot of money, just enough money to buy a beer, get into the club, and catch an Uber home, like that.
so, brother. Now, tell me the bad parts about Australia overall across both cities. That obviously you've not mentioned already in the stream that you didn't like as well. That can I pitch you off, or did you mention it all already?
Could you repeat that?
Tell me the bad parts about Australia that you also didn't like about it.
Um, I don't think that I'll be able to participate in society and be fully welcomed as a citizen. I don't think it'll be. I don't think I'll be able to find a wife there. They're very conservative. Um, not a lot of. I believe that whenever I come across and find someone that I really like, it won't be into me. You know what I'm saying? That's something I felt like that. But if I push and push, will I find something? Oh, absolutely. I feel that way in any city. But it's not because of everything that you would have to do in order to, find a place, start working and make your money, all that, you're better off elsewhere. It's a big world. And Australia is definitely, well, that area is definitely not going to be a choice. There's nothing about Australia that's going to make you say, man, this is home. And that's true about Australia. So there's nothing interesting about Australia. There's nothing extra. There's nothing. I mean, I'd rather live in Seattle, like big time. Like Seattle is way better than being in Australia. Way better. Um, like not even close. But like I said, I was in Brisbane and the Gold Coast. That's my experience. You got Perth, you got Melbourne. I didn't really go to Sydney. I went to Sydney when I was in the military, but I just out and about, went to bar here, got drunk. Just hanging with military guys, just like a big fuzz. I don't even remember. But it wasn't really nothing serious, and that was a long time ago. But there's nothing about it there's nothing interesting about Australia. It's not like a lot of positive energy. There's not a lot of interesting culture. Nothing to really learn. I mean, there's nothing. Some people say about you got to learn the culture. There's nothing about Australian culture that would help you be better fit into society. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's just, that's what that's what I'm. There's nothing really pulling you back. They'll say like the food or the living expenses but I will say that for the most part it felt safe where I was. I'll give them that, but it was an illusion because I wasn't there long enough, and the cops told me that. He said there was a known description of Australia, and it's dumb, drunk, and racist. You ever hear that? I know you did in London. You heard that before, right?
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
Yes, of course, because they're the ones who coined it. London, it was the British. They came up with that term. Dumb, drunk, and racist. It came from the British. Your country is who came up with that. So that gives you an idea of what I was talking about before, how people from London and Britain, they come to Australia and they look down on them. They don't respect Australians for the most part. The whites there do not respect the whites there. They look down at Australians and they think they are dumb, drunk, and racist. Germans do it too. But when you go to Berlin, you're like, you ain't got nothing to talk. But I didn't deal with a lot of racism. I didn't deal with any racism when I was in Germany. Like all over Germany, it was no racism. None. Zero, not one drop of it. I felt welcome as hell all over Germany. I did not feel
awesome, man. Bro, I mean,
yeah. No, go ahead. You good?
Yeah, But yeah, so I'm in Birmingham, but I think I've heard that before in the past. But no, that is an interesting statement there. So, brother, would you say is it worth going there with a group to Australia or
Yeah, you
go
go
there
to
by
Gold Coast.
yourself?
Yeah, go they celebrate our holidays. So they celebrate Christmas, Halloween, something they do a little something on Thanksgiving, but I don't really know what it is. I haven't experienced it, but I do know that I've heard of it that they do some little something when it's Thanksgiving, like in the United States. They do a little something out there. They kind of want to be with family, so they almost kind of celebrate it, but they got their own things too. But New Year's Eve, go out there during New Year's Eve weekend is pretty cool. But Halloween weekend, they really have a lot of fun out there. Um, Maybe I'm biased; it's my favorite holiday to go to nightclubs. Um, but when you're just out and about, just trying new restaurants, going out and scenic routes, and going like hiking and just really enjoying the day and the atmosphere, you will have like I experienced that, and that's when you get a better taste of like what Australian people are like. And like I said,
So,
I got a tone and people just kind of just take it easy and just mind their own business. But um,
so you're saying, James, go there. It's better to go in a group than a person.
you go with a group. You won't have to. You won't. That's what I was trying to say. You won't really care about those things. That they don't really bother. No one cares, and they don't have a lot of culture and all that. So you'll be able to enjoy like the best parts of it. Like when you're with a group, it's kind of like if you've never been somewhere before, and you go there, and the locals are like they're looking at you like why you're so like smiling and looking around and doing this. For you know what I'm saying? When you're with a group, you can experience that and share that experience with you and your friends. So you'll have a better time there. You won't need locals to share your experience with because when you try to share your experience with the locals, they're not going to get it. There's a reason why there's people who lived in New York City for like 30 years and never seen the Statue of Liberty. It's about that. Or 50, or their whole entire 60-year life, or 70 or 80, and never seen the Statue of Liberty. Because they don't care. So when you go to a group, you won't need to communicate and share your experience with people who don't care. So when you go to everything and when you have good energy among you and your friends, people are going to want to be a part of that energy. All right. And that's why you see popular YouTubers go there and they have a bubbly and their energy is really good because they're good at being the YouTubers and they're smiling, they're having fun, they got their camera and everything, and people come over and want to be part of that energy. And you think that if you look like that dude and you go there, you're going to get that too. You're just going to show up and people are going to be like, hey, what's going on? Where are you from? Wow, America. Wow, blah, blah, blah. You get to have a drink and people come over and people are having fun. You think you experience that? No. You're not checking effect. Sorry. I met that dude.
Yeah.
He's been there. I was there when he was there. I didn't catch up with him when he was there. I wish I did. But he's got positive energy. When you see him, you'll be like, that's a positive dude. He's in a good mood, even when he's in a bad situation. So you're not him. You're not him. There's people who came on IP show and talk about their amazing experience, but then you're like, wait a minute, this person is not normal. They're not just posting up in a club with their drink and their two-step and expecting energy to come at them. It doesn't work like that. It never works like that. You're not them. You know what I'm saying? And you're not me either. So nothing special about me, but you're still not me. But when you go with a group, you don't need all that because you're creating that energy with each other. You go to your friend and you messing with them, you high five and you get a drink, you're talking about something, you're laughing with you and your friend, and that energy that you're sharing between becomes yours. So when people see that, they want to be a part of that and they come up to you and then all that energy is shared with them and they take it and that just grows and grows and grows. That's what happens when you go with a group to like Vegas, New York, Germany, Spain, I don't care where you are. You go with a good group of guys, that's going to be your experience. But you better do it right.
Wow, incredible, brother. So, brother, out of 10, would you say Australia for you was a 5 out of 10? Brother, be real here. 4 out of 10, 3 out of 10.
4.
Tell me why you rate 4.
Mhm.
Damn. I see why. Flipping heck. 4 out of 10. Okay. Awesome. Thank you, James. Thank you. So, James, how long do you want to carry on for, brother? We can end the stream now, go on further. Up to you, brother.
Oh, you kind of want people to come on and ask questions. So I don't even know how many people are watching though, because I'm only looking at the StreamYard. So if you want to do that, I can do that for a couple more minutes, and then I'm out of here. I still
brother.
stink, so I need to take a shower. That's why I'm sitting on the floor on my sofa. I stink.
Okay, brothers, if you want to call in, I'll give you our brothers 5-10 minutes to call in. If no one calls in, we'll end the stream. So James can do what he wants to do where he's at. So call in if you have any questions. James, so let me ask you this question, right, James, right? Would you say, on average, Australian women are checking heavy for Black American men, Black British men, and passport bros? Or that love isn't strong enough anymore? Checking heavy for brothers, and I'm assuming it would be mostly white women that will check for brothers heavy.
Yeah, mostly white, really. That were giving me attention, but it wasn't that much. It was not like that. I'll say, out of all the white countries I've been to, where I got the most attention from white women would have to be Hamburg, Germany.
Yep, I told you. Germany,
Spain
I told
was
you.
good too, though. Spain was good too. You just got to have some game, and you really got to know Spanish. But the Spanish women and Italian women are really interested in us, but they're not just going to run up to you and give you attention. You really you have to create an open, warm approach. You got to make it comfortable for them to walk over there and talk to you, and they will, because they are definitely women in France as well. These countries are still way better than Australia. French women do like black men. Italian women do like black men. Women in Spain do like black men. But out of all those three, I would definitely say I would say France, really. Sweden as well. You know, these places. The right people told me about these places, and I've been to them as well. I've never been to Sweden though, but I've been to France. I've been to Spain, Hungary, Budapest, Croatia, Serbia. These places are still up, so they're still got a positive look. But there's some brothers who went out there had a bad experience, and I looked them up and down and was like, I can see why.
So, brother, in regards to Australia, right? So across Gold Coast and Brisbane, you didn't get the love you wanted to get from the woman there across all races. There, it's just not.
Yeah.
It's not.
It was no different than like being in the States, but I got to tell you, when it comes to my favorite parts of the United States, and I'm always talking about them, I'd rather be in the U.S.
Wow. Damn. Interesting. Brother,
Back in the days was better. Not like that no more.
Did you speak with black men in Australia who lived in Sydney and Melbourne? What was the experience they're dating in those two cities? Because I heard it, it would be better. Or do you think it's across the whole country?
Better. Yeah, I did hear it was better. I would say it's probably better. But Perth is way on the other side, and it is more down to earth, and so is Melbourne. And everybody says their experience is better in Melbourne. Like Check in Effect, who was out there, he went to Melbourne and he said the experience was way better. He liked it way better.
Yeah,
liked it way better. He's got his videos up, you can see, and he's got a he opens himself up a little bit better to than people when he goes to these countries. A little bit better than me. But I do, one thing about me is I'm very comfortable talking to anybody that I don't know, so it doesn't bother me. It's not something that I'm scared to do. So I did learn a lot. I like to talk to locals. I like having normal conversations with locals when I go to these countries. And as far as people wonder when they go to my my YouTube, how come you don't see a lot of videos of it because I'm not comfortable whipping out a phone or the camera or the little post thing and doing interviews and just talking to people like that, like Check does, or and you do as well. I'm just not comfortable doing that. So that's why you don't have that. So, but you know,
I have a caller. James, hold on. Shout out to Jay Bones for the support. Melbourne, best spot for black men. Had a great time. That was Jay Bones from the chat. Shout out to Mr. Darius Chambers for the support. I wanted to say this during the Vietnam stream, but I wasn't there. If you DM chicks on Instagram, it doesn't work. No responses. Okay. Thanks for letting me know, brother. Much appreciated. Let me bring in Jay Hollywood in the background. Okay. What's up, Jay? How you doing, bro?
What's going on, IP? What's going on, James? How y'all brothers doing today?
All good, bro. Fire away, brother.
Yeah, so basically I was listening to some of the stream. What you said did not surprise me about Melbourne, Australia. I've heard either as good or usually bad experiences. They usually come out saying it's not that different from America. So that doesn't surprise me. But I did hear you say something. You said that your best experiences, at least with white women, was you said France and Germany. Yeah,
I had good experience in France and Germany.
Okay.
French women they like brothers clean cut. So it's like Italian women even like you more clean cut. Like if you are well educated, you clean, you smooth, you smell good, you speak with a lot of respect. Know a little Italian too. Oh, that's really gonna think you'll do well out there, and you'll find yourself with a very, very beautiful woman. Italian women can be gorgeous, breathtaking actually.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I know in Germany, right? I know for a fact, and I was telling IP this. Definitely like Turkish and Middle Eastern women.
Oh,
yeah. In Germany, they go crazy. It's crazy over there. I've seen that a lot. And I know IP, you probably experienced that too. Yeah, you do really well with them. Yeah, you're definitely right. Like the white women I've seen in Germany that you will do well with too, especially, are like the ones from the Nordic countries. I don't know. Yeah. I've seen that too. I don't know if you agree with that, but that's what I've personally seen. All right, that's pretty much what I wanted to ask. Have you been to? I got one more question. Have you been to any parts of Canada?
Hell yeah! I lived in Seattle. Was born and raised in Connecticut, Toronto to Vancouver.
Nice.
And I'm gonna tell you, Asian women in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Yes.
So true. Okay.
Gorgeous, and they bubbly, and they smile. Oh man.
Hey, I got a friend who's over there in Montreal, Canada. He was telling me that like the French girls go crazy in Montreal, Canada. I don't know if you have any experience in that either, but I'm thinking about.
Not really. I haven't been to Montreal. I've never been to Montreal, but I do want to go.
Yeah,
I've heard a lot about it. I know a couple people have gone. But you have to understand Montreal is where a little bit of the crime is too, but not a lot. You get jacked in Montreal.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah,
I would never expected that. Okay.
Not as much as Toronto. Toronto, you get beat up.
Okay, yeah, I seen that by the Drake goons.
But it's nothing like the United States. They're nothing like it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll let you guys go. It's cool talking to y'all.
Peace. Thank you, bro. Brother, have you traveled before, Jay Holliday? Jay Hollywood.
Oh, what happened?
Have you traveled before?
Oh, yes.
Well, which countries do women treat you the best?
So I've been to IP. By the way, we talked. You just never heard my voice, but we chatted. I traveled to Germany, Denmark. Which country? I traveled to Amsterdam. Honestly, the countries I got the most love in was in Denmark and Amsterdam, because in Germany, and I'll tell you this another time, I feel like you do have to be social to be good in Germany. It's not like America where it's hard as America. I'm just saying you have to be social because they're very stern and they're very cold. So you got to open them up. Once you open them up, they'll open something else up. If you understand. You just got to be social. That's it.
If you come up weird to an attractive German girl, especially in somewhere like Frankfurt, you getting rejected fast.
Yeah.
You're getting rejected fast. You're not going to let you finish your sentence. No. You gotta be quick. You gotta have game. You gotta have style. You gotta have charisma, energy. If she's the more attractive you are, the more you're gonna have. Well, you will definitely get rejected in Frankfurt.
Yeah, like and to add on to that, because I mostly traveled in Berlin. You got to come with the right approach, man. Because I
Big
was
time.
traveling. I have a friend up there in Germany. He tells me like if you approach like a regular black dude in America, like yo girl, what's up? They're just gonna walk right past you.
Right
They
past
might
you.
smile and they'll walk right past you. You have because they're very logical, so you have to have like an
You get a
astute approach.
smile. Oh, lucky you.
Yeah, yeah. Like people think it's easy. I'm telling you, you come with a regular approach and you like that below average guy, they will like look at you like weird and walk away. They will run really quickly. It happened to me a couple of times just because I approached wrongly. But if you come with the right approach, you'll be fine. But you cannot come there being lame. I ain't gonna lie.
Awesome. Jay,
Right.
thank you, bro. Brother, DM me on IG, brother. I put my IG in the private chat, Jay Hollywood. Let's touch base, okay?
All right, we'll do. All right, guys. Take care.
Awesome. Thank you, bro. So I think James has to go. James, do you have any closing statements, brother, before we let you go?
Nah, just what he was saying about, you got to have game. That's also true in Australia as well. More so. You got to be attractive. You got to be, you got to be somebody. You got to have something going on with yourself. Please stop going to these countries, showing up black and thinking this whole thing that they keep telling you all over the internet that, oh man, they love black dudes out there. You go out there, it's going to be easier for you. That's not true anywhere. It's other places that you're going to get the benefit of the doubt. Something that's going on true right now that people are trying to downplay, but black guys do better in Japan than white guys right now, and vice versa in China. But does that mean if you just show up in Japan as a black dude, you're just gonna get a girl, or something like that? No, that's not true. And everyone knows that the value of black men in Thailand is actually starting to go down. You just gotta, when you travel and you want to go overseas, show up with your best on your best game, the whole 9 yards. Start going. You got 6 months before you're gonna quit your job and you're gonna start traveling the world. In that meantime, get your skin right, start drinking more water, get your health right. You're not gonna have access to medical. Start going to the gym. Start saving your money. Start selling your stuff. Get everything perfect. So when you want out there, you are the best one in the room, and you'll have a better time. Be energetic. Don't be so cocky. Take it with a grain of salt when you're rejected, the whole 9 yards, just like you would if you moved to a new city with a new job in the United States. You're going to do the same thing. Same thing.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you, brother. James, have a great day wherever you are, brother, and we'll touch base again in the future.
Absolutely. Peace out.
Look after yourself, brother. Shout out to James. Awesome. Great stream right there. If you want to come on the channel and share your story as well, DM me on IG. Please get your story on here. Sanroy Charles, we got to do that Belgium stream, bro. I've been waiting on you, brother. All right, but please hit me up on IG, brother. Okay. Happy New Year. So, brothers, just to follow up on James' point right there, right? Okay. Actually, before I do so, Japan, Germany, Ibiza, Spain streams coming very, very soon. You know what you got to do? Follow me on Twitch and on Kick, and you will get those streams. I'm preparing for it. The Japan streams will be a 5-part series where I'm going to tell you the whole truth about Japan. Okay, and just to follow up on James' point right there. Okay, whoever is telling you lies about China and how black men are doing great in China and Chinese women are checking for brothers, that's big cap. That is big cap. Okay? I'm sorry. In 2025, all black men must avoid China. Avoid it. China is the white man's society. If you're a white guy, go China. If you're a dark-skinned black guy, if you're a black guy, I would avoid China. The best country, even though I'm going to call out Japan in the next couple of days or weeks, okay? The best country for black men in East Asia is by far Japan. Japan is number 1. Number 2, Korea, but that's 50-50. Number 3, we're at the bottom, okay, is China. In fact, I'd even put Hong Kong and Taiwan above China. But notice how the Chinese-speaking countries are at the bottom, okay? And literally, don't waste your time there going to China. You want an East Asian chick, your best bet is Japan. But you must vet very well. How to vet, go on my Patreon. There's explicit intel and vetting intel on Australian chicks, Japanese chicks. Check it out on the Patreon. Okay, I'm giving you brothers the real deal here, like James does. Okay, we're not going to China now. Yes, I will have streams about China again in the future, but China is not the best country in East Asia for black men. The game plan is get into IT, get your certs, do my Python course, do Field's cloud course. That will give you a lot more scope to pick what country works for you. China is not the one. Okay? I'd avoid it. You have to go to where you are loved. Don't go China. Don't do it. You just heard we had the Vietnam stream last year with Ramel. Ramel went from China to Vietnam. One of the reasons so is because the way he was treated in China was horrible, right? And he's not even dark skinned. So what does that tell you? Avoid China. So I'm seeing videos online, right, of, black guy. I saw a video on my feed the other day. Chinese women want black men now. Chinese women are falling over for black men. Shut up. Shut up. That is big cap. No. Literally, I saw a video the other day, right? And title was Chinese women are doing everything to get a black man. Why Chinese women are leaving Chinese men for black men? I don't see that around me, bro. Do you see it in America? Do you see it in America? Do you see Chinese women in America, right, chasing after black men? In the UK, I don't see Chinese chicks chasing after black men. I don't know anyone, right, that's given me intel about China recently that is telling me that Chinese women are going all out for a black man. That is a flipping lie. They're not checking. Yeah, one or two, blah, blah, blah. But the majority of Chinese chicks are not checking for a black guy. Open up your social media apps, right? And filter it to East Asian chicks. And you're going to see a whole bunch of Chinese chicks come up on your feed. I guarantee you, right? If you like 50 Chinese women, none of them will get back to you. They won't like you back. They won't message you. Chinese women want white dudes. They want white dudes. Your best bet, if you're into East Asian chicks, are Japanese chicks. And even then, you got you got a limited time period, in my opinion, with Japanese chicks, from what I'm seeing. And I'm going to expose it in my upcoming live streams. Korea, 50-50. But Japan is the best East Asian country. If you want a East Asian woman, okay, go Japan. Okay, that's your best bet, right? Chinese woman, that's a big no. Don't do it. Okay. Now, another point here is that what was I going to say? There are only few spots in the world where black men can get an Asian woman. Vancouver, Seattle, San Diego. Vancouver, Seattle, San Diego. I've been Vancouver. I can vouch for Vancouver. James has been there. That they got the best East Asian woman in the West. I don't know what's in the food. I don't know what's in the water, but black men do well in Vancouver. Okay, but that's only one city out of thousands upon thousands on planet Earth where East Asian chicks are checking for brothers. Only one city, right? So you should know that, like, I get we all have preferences here, but I think brothers got to open up their minds beyond Asian chicks, particularly for black men who prefer East Asian women. Start looking into African black women, right? There's plenty of foreign black women that I've come across that are wifey, great personality. Start doing that, bruv, right? Latina woman, because it's very hard for a black man to get an East Asian chick. And we have to admit that a lot of East Asian women white worship. They want a white dude. And you have to accept that. That's their preference. That's their preference. So, like, you're gonna waste time chasing after women that may not want you. Okay? So have a backup plan, have options. Have a backup plan, have options. Okay? That's how I feel about it. Right? That's how I feel about it. Okay? So we got potentially the Passport Bro show tomorrow. Okay? And I'll see you for that tomorrow. We got a couple more streams on the weekend as well. 2 countries. I'll see you for that too. But just to make it very clear, okay, Chinese women are not abandoning Chinese men for black men. That will never happen in a million years. Knowing the Chinese society, knowing their media, yeah. And I'd be very cautious as well if a Chinese woman is giving you a lot of play. I'd question it, you know? Why is she so responsive? Why is she checking for me? Just make sure it's she actually likes you and it's not some sort of, scam or something. Because I'm telling you, bro, like they're not they're not they're just not the ones for us, okay? But get your passport, get into IT, get out of the matrix. The mission is still there. The mission still stands. Okay? It still stands. So I'm about to head off in a bit. Look after yourselves, and we'll speak soon. Peace out, brothers.